Good morning, good noon, good evening, wherever time and place you're listening to us from. Straight from the 909, it's Mark, Andre, myself, Isaiah. Together,
that's hip hop.
That's hip hop. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, share, turn on the notification button.
Stop forgetting.
Share with your moms, with your fathers, with everybody you can. Today is that's hip hop's first, where we cover a second album of an artist we've touched on. That is the great MF Doom.
Yes, indeed.
As we know, Doom passed around this time in 2020, October 31st. Rest in peace, MF Doom. We've said it before, he's an artist's artist, a unique mind and a soul that can never be duplicated. The mask isn't a gimmick at all. It's like one of hip-hop's symbols now. Doom stood for something much deeper. He stood for creativity, for lyricism, for any of us to have the ability to be our own superhero / supervillain. That's what he represented to the MCs out here in hip hop. We're talking about his sixth and final solo studio album, Born Like This, released March 24th, 2009. It's crazy how far back that is, and it doesn't feel like that. But this was through Lex Records. It debuted at number 52 on the Billboard 200 chart, having sold over 10,000 copies.
Jesus.
So go ahead.
Opening weekend or total?
That was, I guess those numbers are as of like March of
2020.
Yeah, that was opening weekend, I believe.
Yeah, I was going to say 10,000.
That was opening weekend. So today, Dre wanted for us to discuss Born Like This by MF Doom. What were your thoughts behind your choice on that, Dre?
This was the only album that I really fought with, so I thought it'd be really fun to share with you guys. Operation Doomsday, it makes sense. It's like he's here, he's arrived, he's dropped the bomb on us. It came out on my birthday. So I thought the album was dope. No, Operation Doomsday is dope, definitely. And then, we get hit with MM Food, and then it's just like, man, we're already on a whole nother level. So I feel like going backwards wasn't the best idea. I felt like we should have moved forward. So instead of doing Mad Villainy, I thought Born Like This would be great. Because it was a fight for me. Initially, when I first heard it, I don't know, Mad Villainy, of course, it just hits your heart. It just makes sense.
Yeah.
Born Like This it was just a fight, man. It was a fight. I fought with this album so many times. To the point where, listening to it now, I feel like I've finally got a little bit of closure with it. Like us doing it now, I've gotten the most closure with the album, because before there were just so many tracks on here. I'm like, man, why did he put this on this album? Not that it was a bad song. It was just like me going, it's not hitting me, right? Yeah. It's not resonating with me.
It didn't feel as zany as the other projects you had.
All the other projects like activate in your head instantly, and this is the one that fought with me. So I thought it would be great to share with us. That just, to me, it makes sense. An album that you fight with is probably the most artistically ahead.
Well, what are your thoughts regarding the album, or just even MF Doom in general? Like, what are your thoughts? I think you mentioned you picked up this album actually.
Yeah. So right after Food, I ended up going into the MF Doom like fan bus, just trying to figure him out, trying to go to his other projects. I remember for a long time I wanted to actually get the Special Herbs, and I wanted to do a whole mixtape based with all the instrumentals that he did. So it was to my benefit, because all these instrumentals were only like a minute and a half. So all I would have to do was like a verse or two. But man, dude, it was tasking. So I ended up putting that by the wayside and never, bearing that for a millennia or two.
Yeah.
when I reincarnate, I'll be able to get back at it. But picking this album up, I was excited because I was able to anticipate the release date. This is a few years after we all graduated high school. So I was able to anticipate the release date. I believe I was off from my shift at Costco that day when I worked and was able to go by the Circuit City by the house. And I was able to cop it. And upon listening to it, like I expressed earlier a few minutes ago, it lacked the zany approach that he had with Food. and his previous work because there's less samples of Doom himself, the Doctor Doom from all the animated series that he sampled from, and it's more of these samples are directly associated with the song, then the song plays,
Right.
kind of samples, not like a dedicated skit track,
Yeah.
and the like.
Not like getting lost in a bunch of samples and
Yeah.
random shit from films and stuff like that. It's just straight to the song, straight to the
And
bars.
and looking at the, there was more questions than answers, and I'll explain that as we go along with this album of ours that we're reviewing.
I didn't realize this was his last solo studio album, his 6th album.
Yeah.
But his last solo studio album. And now I think when we look back on it, it just makes it, kind of even more, just more special because you're talking about your last kind of solo work as an artist. And I felt with this one, he still has jokes and stuff in here.
Oh, it's
a
all
little,
there.
it's
It's
a
all
little,
there.
it's a little bit more different, the jokes.
You have to dig in.
Yeah, and it feels more like kind of grown up. Like he's been through some stuff.
Feels assertive as well.
Yeah,
Right.
and so there's just this tad bit of difference on this one compared to his previous works. And I think when we get into it, we'll probably come out more better and clear. But
Thanks.
on what I mean, but. This album, just on the cover, what are you guys thinking? What was your takeaways from just looking at this cover, right?
I mean, a hieroglyph in parallel to
Yeah.
Doom's mask in stone
Yeah.
essentially means he was here before you.
Yeah. I immediately started seeing like the emerald tablet that the homie Billy Carson talks about now. Having it green still symbolizes the cape of Doctor Doom.
yeah,
You still have that kind of homage to the ancient. I guess it's an Easter egg to it being an ancient relic. That
Yeah, it
whole
feels like
thing.
artifact.
But
I
it's
thought it was more of
it's like a seed being planted that, hey, look, this is still Doom.
I thought it was
in
more
my
of like
eyes.
a Emerald Tablets play. So, because the Emerald Tablets of Thoth are like, thousands of years before us, yet it was translated perfectly and it stands the test of time. The Emerald Tablets themselves are completely unaffected by the world. I mean, these things are thousands of years old, unaffected with these carvings in them. So I thought he was doing kind of a play on the Emerald Tablets. And the idea of the Emerald Tablets, based on those that study it, is the verses within the text are relevant to your level of consciousness. Meaning, if you are really spiritual, like you're on a Buddha level, right? Then you're going to get Buddha level insight on what he's saying. But if you're a Walmart worker and you have no concern for this world, then it's just a bunch of, it's just a Bible. It's another Bible, right?
I love the play on the Walmart thing
right.
though, because it makes so
It just
so
puts
much
it all in one
sense.
place,
Yeah,
right?
it makes so much sense and it's so clear.
So it's just like, on a Walmart level, it's just like, oh, interesting words. And then on, a Buddhist level, it's like, oh man, insight at every word.
Yeah.
So I thought that was the connection to the album, but you never know. But Born Like This in the visual in comparison to Born Like This is like the concept of being here before, right? We're already being here.
Right.
And it could be as well in the direction that MF Doom's mask is looking at the tablet itself.
Like he's reading them?
That it's like he's reading it or
Yeah.
interpreting it for us in a sense too.
I like the fact that it's
like that.
it's like one of those things where like they even have trouble reading hieroglyphics, like interpreting that, and it gives me these ideas of like, what if Doom was in those times and he wrote his lyrics, like, and now we can't interpret what this
Oh no, we're
means.
reading
Well,
his
that's-
current
yeah.
lyrics now and we don't understand.
Yeah,
it.
that's
yeah.
exactly the concept.
That's kinda
and then with Mark's idea, if the mask is reading this ancient text, then it's just him reading his bars in the
Yeah,
booth.
yeah.
But he's so ahead of y'all. It's like
And like-
that's how ahead of us
Yeah.
he is.
Just
you
like
know?
even if you think like in the future, maybe they might look at MF Doom's work like as in the past, or might consider this an ancient time, and so they might look at his works like hieroglyphics in a way. Like, what is this dude saying? Like he's speaking his own language here,
exactly.
and trying to interpret.
And it's going to take this long for all of us to get this shit.
Yeah,
And I agree, because it's still, even then, at the time when I was hearing it, like I said, I fought with it. And now I'm still getting clarity on bars.
yeah.
So that's just that's Doom's whole situation, man.
Right.
Yeah, he's
right.
Low battery situation.
the futuristic civilization that picks up on MF Doom's albums is going to figure out, hey, look, this guy is ahead of our time now.
Right.
Yeah. So a classic, a man definitely ahead of his time. And that's MF Doom kicking it off. Mark has an emergency. He's going to have to go pee, I think.
No, he's gonna have to make sure
he's making sure
our
it doesn't die out.
our eye technology is charged properly.
Right.
There you go. Yes, we're good. It's stupid.
Does Andy keep charging?
Yeah.
All right.
Charging is happening.
So out of this album, the whole album is dope. Yeah. So it's kind of hard to choose 3 tracks, but we do it for the sake of, breaking it down. Otherwise, we'll be here for 2 hours.
Brevity.
Just trying to get through it.
Yeah. For an example, check out us breaking down food in its entirety.
Yeah. So that's the thing I like too, because I was telling Mark, what's different this time covering MF Doom is we didn't have our format at that time.
Yeah, we didn't know what we was doing.
We were still trying to figure it out, so I like now that we have this format. Obviously, for our listeners, I think for the most part, a good majority of fans know MF Doom's work or should know his work by now. So we don't really even have to go and describe, who is this guy?
This mystery being.
Yeah, we kind of get the idea of who he is. A legend for sure, and just one of those high elite MCs who's on the levels of like A$AP Rock, on those levels of
it's like Christopher. It's like Christopher Nolan's flicks. It's like the MF Doom fans.
Yeah.
Like if someone gives a negative opinion about MF Doom, it's like Christopher Nolan's flicks. Oh, bro, you just don't get it.
Right.
You don't.
You just don't get it.
Well, because you can't. Yeah. If you have a negative perspective on it, then you simply didn't try hard enough to understand.
Right.
Yeah.
Because we trust Doom enough that he puts this much effort in his shit.
Yeah.
So if you hate it, you're misinterpreting something.
Right. Because let's move on. But you're right. You're right to that point. Like, there's so much gems in here. It's like kind of like, I don't get the fact that somebody could not want the gems, but I guess that happens.
When you have a project ahead of its time, sometimes it just rattles people.
Yeah.
And this is one of those moments. I actually got it. It's like just kind of very far ahead.
Yeah.
Because now it's just the shit makes total sense now. It's not even a struggle for me anymore.
Yeah.
So
because even real quick, even Mad Villainy and Food were entertaining in that aspect. Listening to this for the first time back at 2009, it was a tough pill to swallow. Now you end up listening it to again and again. You end up getting accustomed and like understanding the lyrics, and then you end up finding out, hey, look, this is just this is like the AP course of MF Doom.
Yeah. So we got 3 tracks that we did decide to cover today, which is going to be a Gazillionaire. We have Absolutely. And then we also got That's That. So
it's just a barrage.
That's that.
Yeah. So one of the things about MF Doom that I love is that he is so clever with his wordplay, and he creates words and phrases sometimes. Like, for example, this title track, Gazillionaire, but when you pronounce it out, you hear the word gazillionaire. He's very clever with playing with language like that, which is something that I think he was very early on doing that.
He made it look like a game.
Yeah.
He made it look like a toy.
Yeah, and it's just, it's not like it's just different. It's different. And sometimes, like I was saying, he like kind of creates his own language in a way. So it's kind of cool to dive into his world and like just, and he has humor tied all over this, which is also entertaining.
The best way to look at him is like, I don't know, he has elements of every rapper you love at once. And as he matures, he just adds more rappers to the foray.
Yep.
So with, our first one is Gazillionaire, right? And then, of course, we're starting with Dilla. We got a Dilla beat.
And you got Dilla.
Yeah, we're kicking the door down with the Dilla beat.
And this is one of those beats, too, that is, this is like, so this gets goosebumps.
Yeah.
As we progress in this track.
That Dilla siren's so noticeable.
No,
it's like Sound Pack 101 for him too. So you could tell.
Yeah, it's like kicking the door down, man.
It's such a high level beat with a high level lyricist, and he's just going in, and the track progresses, like it grows even, as you're getting more into it. So.
Well, okay, look, because we got to do the lyrics, and we're not going to match his flow, so who cares? We just, we prefer to go through the lyrics because, that's better than talking through somebody's drama in their life, right? So anyway, villain man never ran with krills in his hand and won't stop rocking until he clocked in a gazillion grand, right? So if he's not going to run with you, you're a krill, right? A krill is the smallest thing ever, so he's not going to run with you in his hand. It's like, why would King Kong run from a plane if the plane's already in his hand, right? So yeah, Villain Man never ran with Krill's in his hand and won't stop rocking till he clocked in a gazillion dram. But look how many fucking rhymes he's already thrown at you.
Thrown.
You're already overwhelmed with him, man.
Yeah, and then the cool part about understanding what krill are, you would proportion that to the scale of an actual whale.
Yeah.
And you understand how large and up to size this example is.
Right.
Exactly.
And now with krill too, that's also, he's used krill in a lot of his earlier works. He's used krill for another double meaning for cocaine, you know, and having, so why would anybody run if you have cocaine? If anything, you're not going to run away. If you're on coke, you're ready to go. So you're going to run towards that something,
Right.
and not run away from it.
But
So
he's not going to stop spitting until he gets as
then-
much money as like an imaginary
with
amount
the
of money.
cocaine too. Now he won't start rocking.
rocking,
Rocking till he clocked in a gazillion grand.
Gazillion grand.
Tilling the wasteland sands, raps on backs of treasure maps, stacks to the ceiling fan,
So I want to
right?
stop on that. Tilling the wasteland sands.
Because he's rhyming gazillion grand, so tilling the wasteland sands. So a lot of the rhymes are going to blend into the next rhyme.
Right.
So in the previous, like Food, right? He's going to be rhyming like 5s and 6s and maybe even 8s, like that's 8-syllable rhymes. And they're all going to be connected really well. And then he has this technique where he'll like randomly break the symmetry of his patterns for a little bit. Symmetry being like, I'm rapping in the pattern and I keep the pattern going and I'm matching every pattern and I keep the pattern going. Doom will go, I'm matching every pattern and I keep the pattern going because I'm running every pattern, I keep the pattern going. Like he'll break it just for one little moment. And he does that shit all the time. So even now he's doing it for you guys while he's blending the gazillionaire. The gazillion grand rhyme. He's the gazillion grand tilling the wasteland sands, raps on backs of treasure maps, stacks to the ceiling fan, right?
Yeah.
So he's still matching with gazillion grand.
Right.
So ceiling fan and gazillion grand. So he's
Still
like
going.
doing all this extra shit, man. So early on, it's just like we missed it. I don't know how we missed it, but
Yeah.
he's just like, man, it was just it's an avalanche of bars, man.
On that, I just wanted to share some of the imagery that I was taking in as I was hearing. The,
Raps on the backs of treasure maps,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah.
Like,
Even tilling the wasteland sands is you trying to produce fruit with desert sands, and that's
Right.
not going to be fruitful
Right.
at all.
But see, when I was thinking of this, I saw this little documentary about.
wait. Sorry, I
ahead. Go ahead.
I just caught something right now. Tilling the wasteland sands goes into the whole point of raps on backs of treasure maps. So he's giving you a way out of the wasteland.
Right.
So come on, man. Like it's not even. It's unfortunate how talented Doom was.
But I wanted to say with Tilling the Wastelands, it gave me imagery of, like, there's this little documentary I watched about how America got their hands in Saudi Arabia to till the lands of the deserts for oil.
Yeah.
You know, so we were like in a way tilling the
wasteland
land for oil.
sands.
You know, so in a way, I'm thinking about billionaires who are greedy or who are probably up snuff on coke, going into desert lands, tilling it for oil.
Right. That's how he can clock in the gazillion
Yeah,
grand.
yeah.
I got you.
But raps on back of treasure maps is crazy. Like, picture you writing your raps like on a
But I thought the
you're on
idea
the back
was
of a
okay. So
treasure map.
if I had the treasure map and I already found the treasure, then I'll leave a note for you. I'll write something on the back of it. That's some Uncharted Nathan Drake type shit. Like you have the treasure map and on the back is like a secret code.
Is the treasure or something?
Yeah, some extra shit
Yeah.
like that. So maps on backs of treasure maps, stacks to the ceiling fan. He has this many tips for you.
So to me, now I find out how unfruitful his journey was trying to uncover this treasure.
Right.
Is that he has so many maps that he's wrote raps on the back of that it stacks up to the proportions of him to the ceiling.
Yeah,
He
that's
rests
what
when he's ash. He'll rest when he's ashes, right?
Yeah, which is just
Ask him after 10 miles and his galoshes, smashes, stashes. Wait, galoshes, stashes, smash. Like he's playing with the letters in the syllables.
And the
So ask him
galoshes-
after 10 miles and his galoshes, smashes, stashes. Chip on the shoulder with a slip-on holster. A clip, a folder in his grip on a boulder bolster. They're supposed to know.
I want to go to that galoshes thing. I thought the galoshes was just a dope way. Because when you see galoshes or you Google image, because I didn't know what it was, you see that it's these rubber boots that usually that are an overshoe.
Yeah.
And he's it's another way of saying like, try walking in his shoes for a mile or whatever. But he's saying like, ask him after 10 miles in his.
But also,
galoshes,
being in the waters though,
Yeah.
like extended in,
Rainy
In the
days
literal
or something.
trenches.
his
Right, in the
metaphor is
trenches.
extended to movies in your head, man.
Right.
And that's
then
the best part.
I thought of this line, smashes stashes. What is he talking about?
Your entire stash, right? So if you had a stash of raps available
Or
if you had a stash of like drugs that you don't want people to have, I'm gonna smash your stash and take it.
well, with Coke, when it comes in rocks form, you have to smash it. Smash the
So
stashes.
he's smashing stashes.
Because you have to
I got
smash
you.
the rock and to get it to powdery form.
I got you. I got
I thought
you.
I could be that.
A chip on your shoulder with a slip-on holster, a clip, a folder, and a grip on a boulder bolster. Oh no, boulder bolster. What is a boulder bolster though?
Hear this.
Is it
hear
a
this.
gun?
The rock is a boulder.
All right.
And it bolsters you up because it's like a pick me up. It's a high.
Oh,
That is crazy.
okay. I got
That
you.
is
I got
crazy.
you. Yeah. That's dope. That's dope.
So he got a clip, he got a folder. It's like almost
And
Yeah,
a grip
over
on his
the-
boulder bolster.
It's like he's gonna go to a job interview or something. But
got you.
he got his rock in his hand to sniff too.
I got you.
Afterwards.
They supposed to know it show when his aura glow. Get from out the road. When he get dough, it's horrible, right?
Yeah.
So get from out the road, right? Like,
Yeah, get out of my way. Get out of his path. Because
time is money. Spend, ways, save, invest the fest for 10K till cave a chicken's chest S. Like, hold on. Listen to all of the patterns that he's putting
the
on this shit,
patterns is
man.
crazy. The patterns is.
Wait till we get to that's
crazy.
that. When we get to that's that, we're gonna get headaches,
Yeah.
man.
But I wanted to stop here on the invest the FES. So FES, I was looking that up. Was it mean functional anthropic? It deals with your nose. You know how your nose, your nasal gets blocked on one side?
Oh,
Yeah.
they have it
That's
as
a common thing.
functional endoscopic sinus surgery.
Right. So what goes in your nose when you sniff
Yeah.
cocaine? So he's like,
Wow,
invest
he's going
in
that
the
far?
FES. Invest in the FES. Like,
Wow, I see where you're coming from.
For
I
10
got it.
for
They
10
supposed to know
Ks.
it show when his aura glow. Get it out there. Okay, I got you. I see all the connections
crazy,
you're putting
though.
there. Damn. Keep going. Time is money. Spend,
Save,
waste, save, invest the
invest
fest
the
for 10Ks till
10Ks.
cave a chicken chest S.
woo. So,
No, okay, so I thought the chicken chest S was like a play off of Superman. Like he was,
Yeah.
So
yeah,
he's like,
I see that too.
Yeah,
'Cause
chicken chest S.
the chicken fest,
Yeah.
like the chesters. Like
Yeah, but then when you have
it,
it, when your chicken
S.
like when you're bird chested, like you don't have muscles on your chest,
But
right?
there's this thing like this known thing where like you have a cave chest too. There's people that are born with that deformity where the chest is born in, like caved
Yeah.
in. So he's basically punching that Superman figure.
Yeah.
He's caving in their chest. That's all pumped up. He's caving it in. That's crazy.
All this
imagery.
articulation, man. Yes, y'all, the double get you the trickles. The best ballers pitch in and rub together nickels. But tut, he about to change the price again. It go up each time he blow up like hydrogen.
So I didn't know if this meant like the dub as in W and wins gives
Mm-hmm.
you the trickles, or is it like $20 gives you a little bit of cocaine? Maybe?
Okay, I got you. Yeah, because he's paralleling, like,
Yeah.
Zay's paralleling the whole thing. All right, so yeah. Yes, y'all, the double get you the trickles, right? So I guess the
Right.
trickles would be your enjoyment of it.
Yeah.
The best ballers pitch in and rub together nickels, right? So that means the best ballers get the bread for what he's getting, right?
Right,
I got you.
right.
So the best ballers pitch in,
But
which
now
is a
the
connection.
price is going up or
right.
something on it.
But wait, remember, but best ballers isn't connection to like baseball, right? So best
Yeah.
ballers pitch in,
yep.
right, and then rub together nickels. But tut, he about to change the price again and go up each time he blow up like hydrogen. So him blowing up with how much he's selling, right?
And then blow. Like,
Yeah, blow up like hydrogen, and then hydrogen bomb, right?
Right.
So we got mad connections, man. Villain here, have him shrilling in fear. He won't stop illing till he's a gazillionaire.
Millionaire.
Grill and stare, yeah, your boy. I'm trying to keep the rhymes
now-
matching. So villain here, because he's gonna bend everything perfectly.
Right.
Villain here, have him shrilling in fear. He won't stop illing until he's a gazillionaire. Grill and stare, yeah, your boy had drama. Got him on a mental plane, avoided back karma. That shit is ridiculous, man. He's probably going past like 4s and 5s
Yeah,
right now.
The double play is crazy because in one sense he's talking about like that coke dealer or the person on that, and then he's talking in one sense about this ill rhymer who's
Right.
rhyming as hard as crack, But and that even the play on the title track because he wants to reach a gazillionaires,
Right.
Compared to being a
Yeah,
gazillionaire,
right, exactly.
That's just a crazy
Exactly.
double on that whole track.
And then, okay, so won't stop till he's a gazillionaire. He's got the grill and stare, right? So he's ice grilling you. Grill and stare, yeah, your boy had drama. Got him on a mental plane, avoided mad karma. So he's above it, right? So a mental plane avoided mad karma because his plane is higher than yours.
Right.
Once sold an inbred skinhead a nigga joke plus a brand new chrome smoker with the triggers broke. So basically he sold a bad weapon to a cracker, right?
Right,
So a
right.
white man. So he gave him a gun And and if the nigga joke is basically, I sold you a bad gun.
That's how good he is.
Right.
Like,
So I sold you a bad gun, and then when you wanted to use the gun, the trigger didn't work.
Right.
So once sold an inbred skinhead a nigga joke, sold a white guy a black joke, plus a brand new chrome smoker with the triggers broke. So that's a brand new gun with the triggers broke.
That's how good he is as a hustler.
I thought I told him.
Firing
I thought I told him firing pins were separate. He find out later when he tries to go and rep it, right? So he's like, yeah, he tries to pull the trigger and it breaks. Right. So that's just brilliant. Like,
Right.
He never at once said, I sold somebody a fake gun.
Right.
You never see the words pop up one time.
And in these bars are also, they're also laced with some realism, because you could look at that line about the inbred skinhead. You could look at that as, you know, when he was with this group KMD, and they took it off the shelf.
Oh yeah, because he had told a nigga joke.
Yeah,
I got it.
It was too controversial for them, you know.
I got you. So
and
so that means the brand new chrome smoker is them being the group that was gonna take off, but the trigger didn't work, right? I got you, because they didn't make it.
That's crazy.
I thought I told him firing pins were separate, right? Because him and his brother got separated, maybe.
Right.
He'll find out later when he goes to try to rep it. So took a Jehovah money for Arabic Torah, charged in advance to translate it, ignored the sorta. Ignored the sorta. One monkey don't stop, no slaughter. So I think he's talking about himself though. One monkey don't stop, no slaughter. A junkie want a cop a quarter ton, run for the border. Know the drill, it ain't worth the overkill. Flow skill still, there's no thrill. Fill a billion, 10K bills in his pillow villain. When it gets real, it split the Skrilla with Dilla.
The rhyme scheme is
too much, man.
ill.
It's too many rhymes, man.
Super
Know
ill.
the drill, it ain't worth the overkill. Flow skill still, there's no thrill. Fill a billion, 10K bills in his pillow villain. Fuck that, man. It's like,
I thought what was funny is like, because when a junkie wants to cop a quarter ton, like wants to get too much, then you know like something's up, so he wants to run to the border. He's like, forget that.
That's fucking dope, because now when you use that coke alignment, I'm thinking of he's on a beat by Diller, right? Dilla, right? Drug dealer, right? Drug dealer.
Yep.
So I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. So let's see. I'm just fucking around, man. I'm just adding. All right, so let's see.
The fact that cop's in there too means that maybe the guy could be a cop.
Well, because he's like, all right, villain, when he gets really split the Skrilla with Diller, right?
Yeah,
right, because he had just sold to y'all, right? After reading the bars on the Dilla beat. Right. So split the Skrilla with Dilla, mix, do a deal for kicks and get rich quick. Sketch lyric, bet your bottom Nick on some Vic. Ick from the drumstick, come with some dumb shtick. How many look at that shit. Nick on some Vic. Ick from the drumstick, come
Trey's
with
on
the
that
dumb
technical
stick.
aspect right now.
No, because you got to realize your average rhymer's only going for 2-3 syllables, man.
To rhyme this deep with that heavy layer of lyricism, with like the technicality,
because he's matching. Okay, flow wise,
crazy.
He matched Dilla, mix, and he had a rhyme for it.
Right.
Kicks and get rich quick, right? So he
the
knows what he's doing.
The beat switch up is very classic too. That's very iconic.
Oh yeah, that's one of my favorite Dilla beats. Yeah, that's one of my favorite Dilla beats.
We're talking about, we're just taking everything. He's spazzing. He's spazzing here.
Yeah.
So I like that whole thing on that play of sketch lyric.
Yes.
Because I'm thinking of comedy sketch.
Yeah.
Bet your bottom dollar, like bottom, but Nick on some Vic. Vic, that's comedian. DB Tolia. There's a comedian named Vic.
Oh,
right. There's a comedian, so he's basically
sketch
saying,
lyric,
like,
bet your bottom Nick on some Vic. So like some comedian.
Yeah. Like,
Ick from the drumstick.
So
come.
I think of the
okay, so
drumstick.
okay, because you're thinking slapstick, right?
Right.
So ick from the drumstick, come from the dumb stick, right? That's really brilliant. No, that's really fucking right. I can see where you're coming from.
Some dumb shtick, you know.
Yeah, that's dope.
Basically saying that Doom is not a gimmick.
Right. I got you.
What he's kicking is the real deal shit. Like,
it's fucking brilliant, man.
That's sick.
No, seriously. Slick, hidden in the book. The only way they find if it is spitting in a hook, right? So no, listen, don't look now, keep walking. Traded 3 beans for this cow, cheap talking. So what's the cow? I don't know what the cow is.
That has to do with Jack and the Beanstalk.
Okay.
Beans for the cow.
There we go.
In that story, Jack thought he was the smart one. He goes, I got these 3 magical beans, but he's basically flipping it on him and being like, no, I was the smart one. I got the cow.
I like that shit.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And then we go from cow to another animal, right? So Hawkman stalking near. Hawkman stalking here. We hawking often, coughing to a coffin. Might as well scoff the pork then, right? So, so we got pork, we got hawk, and then we got cows, all connected in some kind of way.
And then hawk for hawk and loogies, still coughing.
Hawking often, coughing to a coffin. So he's gonna cough and he's hawking loogies on you, so you're coughing into coughing.
And then still hawking. You're hawking at me. You're talking to me too much.
And then Weehawken, I think, goes back to New Jersey. I believe is like a city in New Jersey where maybe he came from. Weehawken.
Mm-hmm.
So that's also another little nugget there.
He's like Worf. Say stronger.
Oh, yeah.
Some say stronger though. Off the top, Jay Strongbow, play along, bro. Wear a mask
Worf
like
from
yo
Star
off
Trek?
the Gong
From
Show.
Star Trek.
Flows
Yes.
slow as Mongo Don Wong Thong Pro. What the fuck?
Yeah.
So
So I want to rewind back to this because I think it's important too. Because that line "coffin to a coffin." So I'm picturing that he's envisioning the cop like kind of like waving off or kind of like shrugging
Might
his
as
shoulder.
well
at people
okay.
who
So
die
might
in
as
the
well
streets.
scoff the pork then.
So might as well
basically
scoff
saying
the
why
cops then,
why even
yeah.
talk to the cops,
Right,
But
'cause-
also eat the pork. I mean, pork
Right.
is not exactly the best thing to eat.
And he's like Worf from Star Trek. I like
Right.
that.
He's like
Yeah.
more
You
some
know,
say
'cause
stronger though.
that's the Worf's special powers that they're supposed to be stronger, right?
This is incredible. Like I love this work, man.
and then off the top, Jay Strongbow, play along, bro. Chief
that the-
Chief Jay Strongbow,
that's the wrestler?
pro wrestler from the 80s. Play along, bro. Wear a mask like yo off the Gong Show. So
And then MF Doom wears the mask himself. And that's a reference. That's probably an old reference, huh? The John.
Of course,
Yeah,
his old ass
so-
references. He's not a new.
the bag over the head is the guy from the Gong Show, the guy who wore a paper bag over his head.
It's a dope reference, though.
Flow slow as Mongo Don Juan Thong Pro. The only Mongo that I know is going to be the Mongo from Blazing Saddles.
But isn't it crazy? Like, I just
So-
want
And
to.
then I'm thinking Bishop Don Juan.
Yeah.
I want to talk about this subject because we mentioned before when MCs drop references, sometimes it dates them.
Yeah,
In this
but
case, I don't feel like his.
But
I
he
don't
has-
feel like it's. I mean, I know it's dated, but I don't feel like his raps are dated. You know what I mean?
But then we're talking about the people who actually filter through and understand what we're talking about. Like the Mongo, like I know what Mongo he's talking about because
Right.
the Mongo from Blazing Saddles was
Right.
talking all slow.
right.
And I know Jay Strongbow because, so it's like
I know
in
who
his
Don Juan
demographic.
is. Right.
In his demographic. Like, so now.
You're
so,
right up his alley.
So,
Right,
so it's a
right.
matter of like the people who don't understand are asked out initially,
Yeah.
but they get a research and find out.
And that's the
If
fun
they're
of
really
Doom.
intrigued about Doom, that's a special treat about Doom is that if you are inclined to, if you're a hip hop connoisseur that's inclined to listen to these dope MCs, you're going to do your research, you're going to do your homework. The ones that don't and that like listening to drill music don't want to listen to it. I mean, don't want to do the homework.
Yeah.
Simple and plain.
True.
Like with this, it's like I like this shit, man.
I just feel like Doom chooses the right references where it's like not referencing a beeper or a pager where it's like, oh God. Like, you know what I
No,
mean?
he actually has
This is-
classier
these are-
references.
yeah, these are references that
he
are
has.
just, like,
he has
cool.
actually
Yeah.
classier. Yeah,
Because
I
yeah,
can
Blade,
catch
like
that.
if we're gonna even go back to is like classic wrestler, classic character from a movie.
Yeah.
Like even talking about Worf from Star Trek.
Yeah,
like
like-
in 4 bars.
Hood Newt-
in
but
4
it's
bars,
hood nerd
Star
stuff.
Trek,
Yeah.
pro wrestling,
Yeah. Right.
Blazing Saddles, Mel
just-
Brooks.
Yeah.
Like he's
Yeah.
good.
He's throwing you.
He's valid.
canvas.
In the
Yeah.
hood,
Yeah.
he's valid.
Hood nerd.
The so then we go with Flow Slow with Mongo Don Juan Thong Pro for your info when he's not practicing Jim Crow or actress in some nympho bimbo. He's playing Ray J, the old tape.
Yeah. Oh shit.
So we have the not practicing the Jim Crow laws. So I don't think he's discriminating. Or actressing on some nympho bimbo. So any
Playing
like
for the ladies, like performing for the women on some
Yeah.
LL Cool J shit.
he's playing Ray J, the old tape. So is Ray J sex tape with Kim K. Doom. What can I say? He's like JJ in a gold cape.
Now, all this is in reference to the police, right, or to cops. This is all talking about them because he's saying for your info when he's not practicing Jim Crow, like when he's not basically acting, like this is something deeper. Like that's what I'm getting out of that.
Yeah, I got you. No,
Or, that would be the other option, or actress in some nympho bimbo. That's
Yeah.
when you could definitively say it like that's when you could say, hey, this is perhaps what he meant by being an
I can see
actor
that.
or
I can see
acting.
that. Doom, well, what can I say? Like JJ and Gold K, fill it to the rim like brim villain, and you won't find him in no gym. Probably a foggy bog with the frogs with a dot on the guard as he squat on a log, right? So I could literally imagine a bog that's foggy, right? And him chilling alone with the frogs and some kind of like, you know what I'm saying? I could see it in my head in a small amount of time, and it's all fucking rhyming perfectly. Look, when I say perfect rhymes, once again, fog, bog, frogs, right? That shit's hard to do, man. That's really hard to do. The slant rhymers are gonna go fog, dot, pog, tal, par. Like they'll go in any direction around it, but it won't be exactly OG, man. So it's just brilliant. So probably a foggy bog with frogs with a dot on the guard as he squat on a log, half cocked and half baked, used to keep a full stock of work, half rocked and half shake, right? Come on, man. Like, he's just so brilliant. My mistake, sign a track agreement for G's, for more G's than lines and cracks in the cement. In any event, it's fake like wrestling. Get him like Jake the Snake on mescalines. Elixir for the dry throat. Tried to hit the high note. Villain sent a itsy bitsy zygote. Come on. Dry throat, zygote, high note? Come on. By remote. Send it in the meat wagon. Bragging MCs packed in with their feet dragging. so they're just packed in, dragging on the floor, right?
The most boastful MCs end up getting packed in the meat wagon with the feet dragging. So, you know, the ones that, you know, the live
These
by the sword.
These stats are staggering.
Die by the sword.
Wait, these stats are staggering. It's an incredible amount of people you've killed.
Had his PhD in indiscreet street haggling. So that's a good way to say, yeah, he's a very suave drug dealer.
No hook, guys. We have no hook at all, man.
Yeah, it's just like it reminds me of Kendrick Lamar's which DNA, where he just goes off.
Oh yeah, and he just fucking relentless, like just tears it apart. Yeah. And then verse 3, villain, his agenda is clear. Oh, this one's a dope. I love this one. I did a breakdown on this verse. Villain, his agenda is clear. Ending this year with dividends to spare. Here, it's not meant for the seeing. Went through the ceiling after entering the center being, right? So he like did it through an astral projection event, right? It's not meant for the seeing, right? You can't see this, right? Which would be astral projection. Went through the ceiling after entering his center being, right? Which would be like a meditation play or just like sleeping and jumping out your body.
Yeah. And with dividends to spare, you know, you'd get your dividends quarterly. Right. So then you'd get them 4 times over, but then at the end of the year, you still got more to give, more to give out.
Exactly.
So it's a play on the fact that he's
made enough money to break the ceiling.
Yeah, abundant.
Yeah.
So he broke the financial ceiling, and then within himself, he broke the ceiling, right? Which is because if you break through the ceiling, you have a breakthrough, right? So went through the ceiling after entering his center being.
We also got another beat change. I want to mention that.
Right. Yeah. This is the beat change back to the original. A new meaning to sails through the roof, right? To the original.
And even through the roof of your astral projection analogy.
Right, because he will sail through the roof, right? Like a ship. Right. So new meaning to sails through the roof, guaranteed raw and saw his truth was truth, right? So basically himself, right? So guaranteed raw and saw his truth was truth proof. Basically proof of truth, right? It's the return of the tramp. Who do a duet jam when Ernest goes to camp, right? So
I love that play.
Right, yeah. Lady and the Tramp, right? So he's the tramp. I believe the song is the lady, right? It's the return of the tramp who do a duet jam when Ernest goes to camp, right? And Ernest goes to camp is a play on the average rapper doing the typical easy comedy shtick that you can see coming.
Yep.
So Ernest are the rappers.
That came full circle.
Exactly.
For me. Okay.
So who do a duet jam when Ernest goes to camp? For the right earn, nah, I mean like Vern. Vern is from Ernest Goes to Camp.
Yeah, that's his name. Yep. Yeah, it's Vern.
So no, I mean, Vern says that all the time. We need some more oil for the machines to burn, learn, right? So this midnight oil, right?
Right.
Jiminy Crickets. Oil. And then we go into Jiminy Crickets.
Yeah, he's so late he runs into Jiminy Cricket.
Yeah. It's fucking crazy, man.
Yeah. And also Jiminy Crickets, you know the phrase.
He gets lucky like winning free tickets off sickly lyrics. I thought he said simply lyrics.
Yeah.
I always heard it as simply lyrics, but sickly lyrics.
That's what I heard too, man.
It might be that because Genius is known to be off.
Yeah, Genius is wrong. So he gets lucky like winning free tickets off simply lyrics. And I thought that shit's fucking brilliant.
That is crazy.
One man's waste is another man's soap. And he's talking about, I mean, there's a bathroom play.
Is another man's treasure.
Right. But one man's waste is another man's soap is off the cleanliness of his play, I think. Right. So somebody might think his style is trash, but another man will hear his style is smooth.
Yeah.
Son's fan base.
You could also refer that back to, I think, cocaine too. Like, you know, I don't know how to
one man's waste is another man's soap because it's cleaner than him.
I don't know how to cook it up, but I'm just saying, like, you know.
Hey, don't downplay yourself. You don't know how to do it yet.
Yeah, you got to learn. Yeah, you got to believe. I'm sure Google has all the tools you need. One man's waste is another man's soap. Son's fan base knows the brother man's dope. So look, one man's waste is another man's soap. Son's fan base know the brother man's dope. Full fucking sentence. Run! That nigga nice, man.
Yeah, this is Kaioken
What?
level Doom.
Yeah,
What?
Kaioken level Doom beyond, bro.
Yeah.
The mask is shaking at this point, man. So yeah, really dope. A real weirdo with a bugged rare flow, right? Real weirdo with a bugged rare flow, and the way his hair grow was ugly as a scarecrow. Fucking perfect matches, man. I mean, the O. Listen, weirdo, rare flow, scarecrow is perfect, man. Hair grow, all of it is dope. He wears a mask so the charge won't grab on a rooftop with a large stone slab. So I thought that was a play off of Moses. Heads up,
The stone slab of the album cover,
yeah.
I thought you
perhaps.
were checking. I thought you were talking about the audio.
So on a rooftop with a large stone slab. So he's like reading his bars. Heads up, and then heads up though, because if he's on the rooftop, your head will
Heads
go up
up.
to look at him.
Yeah.
So heads up, talk white and thought niggerish. Refused to walk tight and got off his vigorish. All right, so to refuse to walk tight is like walking with like a white man, right? And got off his vigorish. I forgot what was like his vigorish intent. Maybe I forgot what it was. Black licorice and equally as yucky because nobody eats fucking black licorice. How he handled the money was strictly Dan Stuckey, and I think Dan Stuckey was just like did he launder money or something like that?
I actually want to.
Or it was
get
the cleanest.
To,
it's the cleanest. He handled the money the cleanest.
his the initial bar.
Was that in what movie was he in?
Dan Stuckey?
Stuckey.
I couldn't tell you.
I feel like I've
It's
heard
gonna
that
be.
name.
It's gonna. Well, Genius has a link for this.
No,
Let's
it's
see.
Daylight. It's Daylight. Yeah.
Okay. I thought it was
like a
different
Daylight.
Oh, the De La song. He wears a mask so the charge won't grab. So wearing the mask so the charge won't grab. I'm thinking that he's saying the charge from the static cling, but I'm also thinking that he's thinking about the charge from the static that he gets on the streets.
I was. That's brilliant. I like that.
Yeah, I was just
I
like, wait,
thought
hold
he
on.
wears a mask because we're going past the general. The general line is the charge don't grab when he commits the crime.
Yeah,
But then everything else, there's like 4 layers after that.
I
And
like
then-
that, man.
That's fucking brilliant. All right, so how he handled the strictly Monkey Hustle's Land on Fire later for the date. Oh yeah, Monkey Hustle Man on Fire later for the date than the Hadron Collider. So Hadron Collider, they've been talking about making that shit for so many years, and now we currently have it.
Wait, what's a Hadron Collider? What is
If you're familiar with like a CERN or any of that like
Oh,
fucking
okay, yeah.
quantum computing shit,
Right.
it's just a quantum computer.
Oh, shit.
Why do we know all this random shit? Watch the Mark and Andre shows, the old ass podcast we had. We covered all the conspiracies.
Yeah,
We studied the Hadron Collider. We did all this shit. For no
Yeah,
reason.
amongst all of us, we've all had our dive into conspiracies. I did the deep end, you did the Mark and Andre show.
Yeah.
yeah. Even the Hadron Collider was a colliding. It collided particles together and it costs more. It'd be seeming like a style. Doom leave the competition steaming like a pile.
Like
That's
some
a
shit.
big pile of shit right there.
Big ass pile of shit.
Smile,
Smelly pile,
ding,
too.
Sparkling jewels
jewels.
because his teeth are blinging.
In effect, like alternate side of the street parking
Parking
rules.
rules.
So, if you're ever on the street in New York, and I hope if when you travel to New York, you don't have a car. Don't ever have a car in New York if you're traveling. The fucking no parking signs. One side is like Tuesdays and Thursdays. The other side's like Mondays and Wednesdays. And the people that live there, they got to play this parking lot mambo, alternate sides, because the street sweeper always comes. And there's always like a day they just throw the trash out in the street. It's fucking disgusting. It's freaking gross. Here I was on a Wednesday with my buddy Jason, and it reeked on a random Thursday. I was like, what fucking smells? I turned the block, piles of trash everywhere. It was just, I was just like, oh, we came on trash day on this block. And there's no alleys for them to put this in, so they got to put it in the street.
It's out front.
Peace to New York, though. So then we have
Fools, the roach was
yeah.
never dead. It lived for a week.
And then dehydrate with a
Severed
severed
head.
head.
shrunken heads.
And it's
Yep.
crazy, like, because the roaches can live without their head. It said,
For a little bit,
for
yeah.
like a week or something.
Mm-hmm.
Instead, it was depicted as flicked in, split, wigs
Wixen.
lit. Can you dig it?
Yeah. Can you dig it?
Damn,
It was
Doom.
depicted as flicked in. That don't make sense. It's probably depicted as flicked. All right, that's a black term. So black
probably.
people say flicked it, and that means you stupid.
Yeah.
Because dehydrate with a severed head. Instead, it was depicted as flicked it. But maybe I'm wrong.
Classic.
Split the wigs lit. So what he means is,
Yeah, like
and he said the wigs lit, right? It's the wicks lit. So split the wicks lit. He just lit the wick like dynamite.
oh, I see.
It's not a wig, it's
Right,
a
right,
wick.
right,
So
right.
yeah, of course we're reading off of Genius.
Right.
So yeah, so split the wicks lit and
That's
then
what
run.
that's hip hop brings you. We bring you like straight, exactly what like. the shit
We
is.
give you that raw shit, son.
100%
Pause.
interpretation guarantee, or your video back. Or your like back. We'll give
Or
you
your
your
like
like
back. We'll
back.
give you your
We'll
likes
knock
back.
on your door.
Yeah.
Here's your like,
Here's your
bro.
like.
Sorry about that.
Big old Facebook.
It's a big thumb. Someone's thumb. We go to our local cadaver and get a thumb for you.
This is a classic track, man. I recommend this track for all hip hop heads. This one you're gonna just be nodding your head to.
Body up, body up.
So we move on. Now
So next we had Absolutely.
move
You
on
picked
to
Absolutely. And I jokingly said, I don't think this song in my reality existed. I've never heard this song before.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I've never heard this song before, but I heard
We're
the
having,
transition at the end.
Mandela effects within
Right.
this
yeah,
album.
for real. This felt like a Mandela effect, man. I don't know why, man. I ain't being funny. I don't remember Absolutely at all. I remember Rap Ambush. So I remember the ending of this song rolling into Rap Ambush, but I don't remember this fucking song at all. Absolutely don't even exist to me. I've never heard this before. So when you picked it, I was like, wait, what the fuck is this? I just kept playing it over and over. So yeah, why'd you pick this one, man?
This one I liked his scheme on here. I liked what he was saying. I thought it was really dope because it was like he was like controlling the block in a way, like he was just calling the shots, and he was giving you like just street knowledge on like this is how we're gonna handle our ways here. Like when something's going down, like he was giving you all the street rules, you know, and so he's just giving you game basically, and letting you know if you snitch, like this is what's gonna go down, and basically just giving you the rules of the trade, like out here, you know. So
Exactly.
I thought it was just a cool track, and I love
And the beat, man, Madlib, bro.
Yeah, I love the jazz vibes on it.
It was
You know,
Madlib. I was like, oh
when you
shit.
got Madlib on it with MF, I just love that combo. It's like freaking Common and Kanye for me. It's like those two that just go, or Guru and Premier. It's like it's a nice coupling.
Absolute power corrupts absolutely.
And the fact that he's talking about that subject, I mean, I always thought that phrase was a very what they call it, a golden rule of truth, you know. And I feel like MF Doom, there's no better person to talk about that subject than MF Doom, you know.
I feel like you would hear this in like the War of Art or something like that.
Yeah.
Or the Art of War, rather.
yeah, seriously.
But yeah, man, this is brilliant, man. This shit is dope. Good to the last drop,
Drops,
nigglets. Ooh, good to the last drop, nigglets. Hood to the blast pop. Then bigot ass piglets. Go for the bosses, dicks are higher. Beat walkers still get caught up in the crossfire.
Crossfire.
Right.
You get caught up in the. Damn, that's a piece to the board game Crossfire.
But no, this shit is fire, man. Like, all right, so look, I'm going for the rhyme. Good to the last drop, nigglets. Hood to the last pop. Them bigot ass, right? So once again, Doom broke the pattern on purpose. And I know he did it on purpose because he could just really do it like this. Good to the last drop, nigglets. Hood to the last pop, bigots, right? But he didn't do it.
But he said piglets.
No.
Oh, yeah.
No, he added them on purpose. So this is Doom's tech. Doom does this on purpose. He doesn't want to be symmetrical for some reason, right? So good to the last drop, nigglets is the rhyme, right?
Right.
The follow-up is hood to the last pop, them bigot ass, right? He did that on purpose.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Right.
So
Oh, instead of ending where you
wasn't at the
anticipate.
end.
Because he could have just
Yeah.
said hood to the last pop bigot,
Right,
and it
right.
would have been 100% a match.
Right, I see
But
what
he
you're
doesn't
saying.
do that on purpose.
Right.
So yeah, bigot ass piglets, right? So we call them little pigs. But what is a piglet, right? Little cops, right? You know,
right,
little
yep.
snitches. Instead of calling them snitches, he calls them piglets. Go for the boss's dicks or higher, right? So if you're a piglet, if you're snitching, go for the boss's dick or higher. Beat walkers, still get caught up in the crossfire. Get at the Sarge and give him the orders. Give the rest of them punks quit. The rest of the punks will quit the force and get slaughtered. So
Slaughter like pigs.
Right.
Yeah. I wanted to say something like for the inspiring artist or MC. This is just something that I've kind of picked up along the way of my, you know, rapping and stuff is when you know you kind of want to say something like in this phrase, he wants to talk about the cops and, you know, it's like another way of calling them is a pig. And, you know, if pig doesn't match your rhyme of what you're going for, like don't give up. Still be clever with it. He found a way to still say pig and make it rhyme by really thinking out the box and looking for a character piglet. And it still works. So, you know, just don't give up. Like,
wait, but and let's lean into this. Instead, they're streetwalkers, right?
Right.
He calls them beat walkers, right?
Right.
So beat walkers still get caught in the crossfire, right? Because if you're a streetwalker and there's a war between two streets, you'll get caught in the crossfire.
Right.
So he's got this many layers.
That's crazy.
He's got this many layers, man. It's a headache. It's a headache, man. It's a real life headache, man. I love this shit, man. But this is the standard that we fall in love with.
Right,
You know,
right.
Get at the Sarge and he gives the orders, right? So get at the Sarge, he gives the orders.